Welcome back to NCC News. John Garcia Jr. now in with sports and some news about Syracuse Georgetown. John, great game last night, especially because we have great traditions behind both of these programs.
And great coaching as well. You know, John Thompson III for Georgetown carrying on his father's legacy, and of course at Syracuse, the Hall of Famer Jim Boeheim. Now, national and conference rankings were on the line, and the first time these two teams have played both in the top 10 for the first time in 20 years. And the lesson for Jim Boeheim's team today is going to be responding to adversity. To the highlights now. Opening minutes in the Dome, Austin Freeman really came to play, hitting 3 threes from deep to start Georgetown off on a 14-0 run. How's that for adversity? Well, Scoop Jardine says no biggie and buries a 3 of his own. Then SU's defense would turn it up from there. Scoop signs everywhere. Andy Routen's getting the steal, one of his 6 steals on the day, again dishing to Jardine, who was the spark for the Qs early in the game. Syracuse closing the gap to 2. The Orange would then control the paint. Joseph inside for 2 easy ones, product of ball movement. He had 15 points and 3 steals. They'd take the lead before the break. Second half, more Qs. Symbolic play. Miss, starting slow but finishing strong, just like Rick Jackson. Qs would hold the lead and would not relinquish it for the rest of the game. More D from Qs. Wes Johnson, access denied. And then on the other end of the court, he can play some offense too with the and 3 points the hard way. He also had 14 points, 9 rebounds on the night. Ball movement again. Arenze Onuaku underneath. Two-handed, Mom. You like that? Johnson had 2 more points to just add an exclamation point to this monumental win for the Orange as they hold their number 4 ranking. Senior guard Andy Routen's had this to say about the win.
Predict it, you can't, call it, so it is what it is, and I think that just shows what kind of heart this team has, and we didn't give up, and we got a lot of faith and trust in each other.
Them going up 14-0 that early was okay. The game we had a lot more basketball to play, so we weren't too concerned. It may have came as a shock to us, but at the same time, we knew that wasn't going to define the game.
A New York Jets fan called a Miami radio station saying the new chant for the team should be JETS, just enjoy the swagger. That swagger has helped the Jets to earn a number 1 defensive ranking and a chance to play a pretty important game, also in Miami, the Super Bowl. In his way, Peyton Manning and the Colts ready to go as always. Sanchez trying to become the first rookie in the Super Bowl, quarterback-wise. Pump faking here, 80-yard bomb to Braylon Edwards, and yes, he did catch the ball. 7-3, Jets take the lead over Indy. Next possession. Jets piling it on from the 9-yard line. Sanchez hangs in there to Dustin Keller for the 9-yard score. Jets up 17. Rex Ryan is looking like he's going to go clubbing in Miami, but not so fast. Peyton Manning, what he does best, 2-minute drill over the middle back shoulder, Austin Collie, to cut the lead to 17-13. Collie, the rookie from BYU. Second half, Pierre Garçon, next possession, touchdown, 4 yards. Garçon had 11 grabs for a career high on the day. And then the sealer. Manning to Clark over the middle, extending the lead to 10 points. Little brother Eli even likes that. And Sanchez, the young rookie, tough season, but he did well, and he's moving on to the next year with a lot of confidence.
Just a tough feeling, but now's not the time to point fingers, to place a blame on anything. We just didn't have our best day in all phases. In offense, defense, special teams, all of us lost this thing together.
Today wasn't our day. We were a good football team, but today wasn't our day. There's no question, and you got to give credit to the Colts. Obviously they're the cream of the crop right now.
Meeting the Colts in Miami would be one of the 2 other MVP candidates, both quarterbacks, Drew Brees and the Saints. He led the Saints to a number 1 seed and a franchise record for points in a season. Most importantly, he led them to their first ever NFC title game at home in New Orleans. Brett Favre and the Vikings ready to go. His Vikes up 7-0 when Drew Brees sets up the screen for the Saints' Pierre Thomas from the 38-yard line. On the sidelines, nice cut back there. Great season for Thomas as the Saints tie it up at 7. Next possession, AP bruises in for the 1-yard line, third quarter to tie the game up at 21. Tie game, seconds to go, tied at 28. Favre doing what Favre does. Intercepted by second-year man Tracy Porter to seal the overtime fate for the Saints. And as the Bayou Saints would go,
sends the Saints to the Super Bowl.
Who dat? The Saints make their first Super Bowl ever in dramatic fashion, 31-28. Drew Brees threw for 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. Saints-Colts Super Bowl. Here in Syracuse, basketball is not the only sport that garners all the attention. In the AHL, the Syracuse Crunch were looking to avoid a loss on back-to-back nights as well as 4 straight overall. They welcomed the Worcester Sharks to the On Center. First period. Grant Clitsome gives the Crunch a 1-0 lead, his third goal of the season. But the Sharks would answer quickly when Logan Couture scores his 18th of the season, is why he is an all-star in the AHL. Then less than 5 minutes later, Andrew Desjardins stuck it in past Dan LaCosta. Crunch lose their fourth in a row, 5-4. Tomorrow, the Crunch host Toronto. Now, Tyler, February 7th, Super Bowl in Miami. What you got, Saints-Colts?
Well, I got to be honest, as a Packer fan, I'm just happy Brett Favre isn't involved. So the good thing about this is I can sit back, enjoy it, and whoever wins, it's going to be a good game. We'll be back with weather after this.
5 a.m.